Hey guys, today's video is gonna be my friends, these are also my pledge sisters, picking the books that I'm reading. So I asked them to pick 3 books, so they each picked one, and they're gonna show it to me, then I'm gonna read it. This is Olivia, Victoria, and Alyssa. I'm scared. Oh, it's called The Predator.
You want to see it? I looked up like popular like dark books because I don't know. I looked at like dark freaky books.
Oh,
I don't know. That's kind of like the ambiance you give me. So
okay.
like yeah. So then I found this, and the cover really like caught my eye. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover.
No, I've heard of this book before.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is my book.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Okay, so it's Wild Eyes, and it's the second book to the Rose Hill series. But I was gonna do the first one, and then I saw that you already read the first one.
I just read it though, so like I want to read the next one.
And I know that you like the Chestnut Springs series.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'm excited so far. Good job, guys. Now, Alyssa, I'm a little scared because she wanted to give me a self-help book.
So this is the book I chose.
Oh, okay, that looks good.
This is a thriller. I don't know
Ooh.
which one.
Okay, yay, I'm so excited. So now I have 3 new books that I'm gonna read, and I'll read them, and then in a few weeks we'll reconvene and I'll tell them what I think. It's the next day, and I have in fact started a book. I started with The Predator, which is one that Olivia recommended me. I'm not gonna lie, I was like the most excited to read this one. I feel like you guys know I love Sarah Crowley. She's like my favorite YouTuber, booktuber, whatever. And she recently has been talking a lot about Larry Reads, and she collabed with her. So I started watching Larry Reads, and she's really into dark romance. So I've really wanted to get into dark romance. So I'm glad that Liv picked this book because I wanted to try it. My thoughts so far, so I'm 14% through. I'm only at chapter 4. I don't like that the chapters are long. Like basically every chapter is like 20 minutes. It's also a lot different from anything I've ever read before. It's about the mafia, and I've never read a book about the mafia. I don't even know that much about it. Like I literally know nothing. I like don't like the guy because of what he's doing, but at the same time I'm like eating it up. Like, am I a freak? Was Liv right? Like, I don't understand because he's literally like threatening, but then I'm like, oh my god, like, can you just kiss already? Like, what's wrong with me? I don't know. I'm really not that far in. Like I said, I'm only at chapter 4, so I'm gonna keep reading, but I just wanted to give you my very first thoughts, my very first opinions on reading a dark romance book. I didn't even tell you what this book is about, I'm realizing, so let me just tell you quickly. The main character, I'm pretty sure you say her name Marana. She is like, her family is one side of the mob, and then this guy who I'm assuming is going to be the male love interest is from the other side of the mob. And basically this girl Marana made these codes that could like infiltrate the other side, but then her boyfriend at the time, so now her ex-boyfriend, stole the codes from her and gave them to the other side. This is not a spoiler, it's literally in the beginning. Now she's like, shit, gotta get those codes back. And there's just like a lot of tension between the main guy, his name's Tristan, and Marana. So like I feel like those are the 2 love interests, but they literally hate each other. It's like enemies to lovers to the fullest. So I don't know how they're gonna fall in love when all they want to do is kill each other, but we'll find out. I look so bad in this camera. I don't look like bad in real life. Anyways, how far am I into this book? 36%. Low-key, I didn't read it for 1 day and I like forget what's going on. Is that a me problem or is that like a relatable problem? I don't know. Oh, I remember what was happening. If you couldn't tell from me not even remembering what this book is about right now, I'm not loving it, but I don't hate it. I don't know what it is. I think I really prefer books with short chapters because even though I'm reading the same amount of pages, it just feels different. And this book, like this chapter right now, 22 minutes. So I'm just like sitting here, I have like 30 minutes till I have to leave for work, and I'm like, I literally can only read 1 chapter. I like that Marana is from one side, Tristan is from the other side. I think that's his name. Imagine I'm just calling him the wrong thing. There's like all this tension between them, but they still hate each other. Like I'm almost 40% through the book and they still just hate each other. Like there's nothing going on really. Like small things are happening, but like I don't see how they could overcome the way that they hate each other. know, random place. I'm literally in the car. I finished The Predator last night. I have mixed feelings, but more positive than negative feelings. So let's start with the negative and then we'll go to positive. And on a happy note, you know, the chapters. You know how on Kindle you can see like how long you have left in a chapter? Every single chapter was 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes like 35 minutes for me. I know that I'd be reading the same amount. There's a commotion happening outside. Oh, the chapters were so long, and like that's probably a me problem, so like that's why I'm not really like docking it for that. I just felt like because the chapters were so long, I wasn't like dying to pick it up every day. Do you know what I'm saying? Other than that though, I loved reading about the mafia more than I expected. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it just because I've never been exposed to that type of book or like the world. I've never watched a book, I've never watched a movie, a show, or read a book about the mafia, so I literally like, this was my first opinion on it. I ended up liking it a lot more. I thought I wouldn't be able to understand it. While it was like kind of like gruesome at some points, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Bro, the tension between the girl and the guy, holy crap. I don't know how it happened, but by the end I was literally screaming. I was like, oh my god, finally. It's such a slow burn and there's so much tension between them. It just like makes when something finally happens that much better. That being said, I'm gonna wait till the end of the video to tell you guys my final rating, so stay tuned for the end of the video when I'm gonna tell my friends what I rated their books. You're probably wondering, why is this bitch in the car again? I'm early to pick up the kid that I babysit, so I'm just gonna read for like 15 minutes before I go in to get him. I started Wild Eyes. I'm about 15-20% through, I think. It's good. I'm a huge Elsie Silver stan, and Victoria knew that when she picked this book for me. I read the whole Chestnut Spring series and I read Wild Love, so Wild Eyes is the second book in that series, the Rose Hill series. But for some reason, I've not felt this way about any of her other books. I think that this one is like low-key so cringe. The two people met each other and like instantly liked each other. Like it's too insta-lovey for me. And like the main character, the girl, she's super famous, so she's not like only an influencer, she's a singer, but she's doing a lot of like influencer things, and the way that they're being like described is so cringe. And the way that they're speaking, I'm like, they wouldn't say that. I'm imagining it out loud and it's just like, ew, like why are you saying that? It's really weird because I haven't felt this way about any of her other books. I think I've given almost all of her other books 5 stars. Okay, jumping right back in. She doesn't know how to make a bed. Like, just because you're famous, you would still know how to make a bed. Like, she's like looking up a YouTube video on how to put sheets on a bed. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, she would never not know. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you've never made one, you can still figure it out without a YouTube video. Like, that's just one example of the cringy, weird things that are going on. Hey shawties, it's later in the week. I don't really have too much new to add about Wild Eyes, just that it is less cringe the more that I read. Maybe that's just because I'm like ignoring it, but like I'm kind of eating it up now. I'm getting my hair done right now, so I'm gonna be reading. I came home for the weekend and thought I left my Kindle at school and was so upset, so I didn't bring it to my hair appointment. Get here, and I remember where it was in my bag. I'm gonna read on my phone while I'm in there, but I'll update you later today how far I get. I'm hoping to finish the book either today or tomorrow. We'll see. The chapters are short, unlike The Predator, so hopefully I'll be able to get through it quicker. Hey there. I read in the hair salon yesterday. I'm not sure how much I got in there because I also read at night, but I'm 70% through the book right now. Today's Sunday, and it's 4 o'clock. I don't have plans till 7, so I have 3 hours. I should be able to get through this book. I'm loving it. Like, I'm kicking my feet. It's just what I needed. With the exception of how I felt in the beginning, it's giving classic Elsie Silver book, so I'm excited to finish it. Guys, it's going too good. It's going way too good. Something's gonna happen and I'm scared. I'm really scared. Guys, it happened. Something happened that I kind of predicted though. Like, I predicted this, but I feel like there's gonna be more. I think there's gonna be more. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Just finished Wild Eyes. It was good. It was amazing. I loved it. Same thing holds true. A lot of it was cringe, and I definitely noticed that a lot more in this book than any of her other books. I also feel like it moved very fast. I read it on my Kindle, so I'm not sure how many pages it is. I'll insert it on the screen somewhere, but I feel like the book moved very fast. Like, I feel like their relationship developed so quickly, and I didn't feel that way about any of her other books, so I don't know if I just never realized it or paid attention, but but this one felt faster and more cringe. That being said, my rating will be at the end of this video when I tell my friends what I rated the books. But now I'm gonna be moving on to the book Alyssa picked for me, My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. I'm gonna start it tonight, definitely, and we'll see. This one is a thriller mystery, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the vibe. I have high expectations for this book too, because it's a genre I love. So we'll see how it goes. I've been reading My Lovely Wife, which is the book that Alyssa picked for me, and I'm 30% through, which you're probably like, you've been reading this book for like a week and a half, why are you going 30% through? That's life. And Fran's over there. This is the first update I think I've done for this book because I keep reading it in the middle of the night when Fran's sleeping. It's a thriller, but it's told from the point of view of the serial killers, and it's like a husband and wife duo, and it's told from the husband's point of view. I feel like it's not as suspenseful because it's not like, we're not trying to figure out who did it. We know who did it, they're the narrator. I don't know, it's not that interesting, but I also really like it, and the chapters are really short, which is nice. Literally just finished My Lovely Wife while I was at work. First of all, it took me so long to read this book. That should be your sign number one. I just didn't really find this book thrilling. No part of me was like on the edge of my seat. Like I was just like reading it, my eyes were like shutting, which is like not common for a thriller. The premise of the book sounded so interesting. I don't remember if I told you guys what it's about or not, but it's told from the perspective of the serial killer. Kind of. They didn't really capitalize on that. So much more could have been done that I feel like wasn't done. And I'm not gonna lie, from like the 50% mark to like the 80% mark, there were some plot twists that had me like out loud. Like some things I didn't predict, but the ending was pretty predictable. Like it ended in a way that I thought it would end. In a lot of thrillers, the ending is where you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And this book did not give me that. The chapters were short, but there were so many of them. There was like 72 chapters, I think. The characters also, I feel like literally none of them were likable except for the kids. Like there was 2 parents and 2 kids. The parents, neither were likable. The kids loved them both. I don't know. I wasn't too crazy about this book, but tonight I'm gonna be hanging out with Liv, Victoria, and Alyssa, and I will tell them my ratings. So hang in tight. We're gonna do that. Okay.
What am I have to say? Oh, hey.
Okay, the first one I read was Liv, so the Predator.
Rar, you know?
It was a lot different from anything I've ever read before.
And why would that be?
Because it wasn't a romance like, oh, I love you. It was a romance like, I want like,
which is what I was intending. Wow, I really love that. I would read it.
Yeah, so I rated it 4 stars out of 5.
Oh, that's like high. Wait,
It's
so like
pretty
you
good.
like the of it?
Next I read Victoria's, which was Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Basically, I love everything Elsie Silver writes anyway, so like I knew it was going to be highly rated. But this one was like way more cringe than any of the other ones. But then I like overlooked it and like enjoyed everything else. I gave Wild Eyes 4.25 stars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like 2 more than you.
So it was my lowest rated Elsie Silver book, but I still liked it. The last one I read was Alyssa's book. I just finished it today. It's a thriller, so I was really excited to read it because I usually like thrillers. This one was different because it was told from the perspective of the serial killer, kind of.
Oh.
So I was like, oh my god, so good.
Bad?
I'm shaking my head. The first like couple chapters, because I texted them and I was like, guys, Alyssa's book is like eating. Like I said something like it's so good, but then like nothing else happened for like the whole like 400-page book. So I gave it 2.5 stars.
Damn. Wow. In conclusion, my Mafia book was kind of also awesome.
Thanks for watching this video, guys.
Thumbs up.
Cut.